Yes.
This is Joyous.
Okay. We live? We live here?
We
okay,
live.
Good afternoon. Yes, thank you, Joyous, for tuning in and checking in. We're live here. Joining us on Speak Your Mind Friday show, and definitely. I'm sorry? Okay. Beautiful. I want to thank everybody for joining us here live here for a beautiful day. We have Joyous on. And Joyous, I have a guest on as well that will be joining us. Yeah, a very special guest. I hope he's on as well. Is that correct? Chairman Darryl Bonds? Okay. Well, we can keep on, until Chairman Bonds get on the show.
Here.
So, ma'am, hello?
I'm here.
Okay. Well, we can just have a conversation until Chairman Bonds. We were waiting for him to call in. He's the chairman of the Maryland Legislative Black Caucus, of course. But
I'm here.
He's on, Joyous. Okay.
All righty.
Yeah, I'm here.
Welcome to our show.
Good. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah.
It's our pleasure.
Great.
Trust me.
Yeah. So
we
it's
have
a lot
to talk about.
Right.
Good.
So Chairman Bonds, I'll just, open up and, Chair, just open up. You've been the chairman of the Black Caucus for what? This your second term, correct?
Right. I'm going into my second term now.
Right. It's beautiful. And just to let everybody know, he's a delegate in Prince George's County area, and he's the chairman of the Black Caucus. For those who may not know, the Black Caucus, I believe, coming up, 25 years, right, for the Maryland? Or no?
Yeah, it's actually our 50th anniversary coming up.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Wow.
I'm talking about the foundation. That's right. So we had, that as well. So, but I wanted to talk. Joyous, there's a lot of people that call in on our shows or other shows. They always, saying things about, well, where's the Black Caucus? And all of the issues that's going on. So just let everybody know. I know some key issues have happened over the past few weeks, past few months. First, we can open and share about the governor. First, this was a few weeks ago, and we can move it up to today with the transition from the was $577 million, I believe, or $570 million for the HBCU funds. Can you speak to that for those that may not be aware of what that particular history may be and where what the Black Caucus, sitting on those issues?
Sure. So here in the state of Maryland, there has been a 13-year-old lawsuit for our historically black colleges and university here in the state of Maryland. And under the leadership of our speaker, Adrian Jones, she had found a way in which we can finally settle this HBCU lawsuit. And the total dollar amount was $580 million, the bill was. And unfortunately, that bill, which during this time right now, we know that we are in a pandemic and most businesses and colleges and universities are all hurting right now. So that money would have went a long way for our HBCUs. So that lawsuit took us a step backwards. And it's our hope that if there's a special session or if we come back or when we come back in January, that we'll be in a position to override that veto.
So what you say, they vetoed the bill?
Yes, ma'am.
And how was that impact on the amount of money that they would have gotten? Would they have gotten all $500 million?
Well, the colleges and university in the state automatically get a sum of money through our budget. So this would have been additional dollars on top of that. So with the veto that the governor did, that took away that $580 million. in which those 4 HBCUs would have got a piece of.
Right.
So I have a question. I'm in support of that, but students that, because I actually applied to Howard, I applied to Morgan, and I applied to the University of Maryland, and I got a scholarship, but my money went directly to UMBC. It seemed like I didn't even have a choice, and my parents were, it was 10 of us, so I had to go where the scholarship money was. I had a scholarship for my academia. So I went to UMBC, which was not a black school, so I had to, I didn't benefit from any of that. And I thought I was slighted with that, because I was still in need of an education, and that's where my scholarship money went. So is it possible to help any black student that wants to excel and go forward?
Absolutely. I think, our 4 HBCUs are poised to do great things. I think they have excelled in so many different areas. If you look at Morgan State right now, Morgan State is leading the country in the School of Engineering. If you look at Maryland Eastern Shore has one of the top agricultural programs in the country, along with their golfing program. If you look at Bowie State has now created a school of entrepreneurship and is on the brink of creating a school of law. So our 4 HBCUs here in the state of Maryland are doing some abundant things. So with the additional dollars, would have really put them in a great position to compete against some of our traditionally white institutions.
Don't forget Coppin.
Oh, absolutely. And Coppin is doing some wonderful things as well.
They're really moving up.
And Coppin just got a new president who's coming in with all guns blazing, and he's looking to really put Coppin at the forefront of doing some wonderful things there in Baltimore.
And their nursing program is excellent.
Correct.
Absolutely. Well, let's. I know we got some of the Black Caucus members as well, or the foundation members that wanted to ask questions. I think we have a caller, so let's see who we have. And please direct your questions to Chairman Barnes as well. I don't know how much time he has, but we definitely want to allow for people to, just really get a good gist. And we're going to let him share, just some of the things that Baltimore needs to hear, that, generally speaking, that we don't, those that are not in Annapolis or connected directly to the delegates all the time and their senators, they don't necessarily may not know what some of the Black Caucus is doing collectively. And I honestly believe this is what we have to work with. For the past few years, I made it my business to, just be engaged on that level. That's what we have to work with. And so we need these alliances, and know who our delegates are and who our senators are, but also all of the leadership of the Black Caucus, because the Maryland Legislative Black Caucus has a lot of significant influence over policy in the state of Maryland. I mean, more power, in fact, than many other caucuses in the United States. And so history is definitely always being made. And I believe we have a caller. Joyous, you want to say something before we go to our caller? Yeah,
I just wanted to know how a regular citizen could support the Black Caucus.
A number of ways to show support. And the main thing is to be engaged with some of the different bills and legislation that's being introduced, and really getting behind that makes a significant within the Black community. I mean, the number one mission of the Black Caucus is to advocate and fight for things that impact our community. And we know that one thing is accountability. So the support that one could give is to ensure that you're paying attention to some of the things that the Maryland General Assembly is looking at from a police accountability standpoint, and figuring out how do I support those bills, and then take it back to your community to say that we have to support these initiatives that support what we're doing.
Great. That sounds good. So let's see if one of our callers is up. And please direct your question to Chairman Bond. Next caller.
Hi.
Okay.
Hi.
Who is this?
The sound is horrible.
Okay. I'm not sure if somebody's in their car or close to a car or driving, but if we apologize, Wanda. But I can hear you. I don't know if Tim and car Bluetooth.
I'm in my car, but I'm not in my Bluetooth.
Okay, it sounds like that may be you, Joyous.
Okay, so I'm going to sign off and listen in. You guys be blessed.
Okay, I heard the background noise. Okay, we'll see if that was yours. Okay. All right. Is that better?
Oh, much better.
Okay, yeah, it was her. So, okay, she tried to chime in, but yeah, we definitely have a better line now. So please, Wanda Watts, for those who may not know, definitely. Thank you, Wanda. You can, introduce yourself to the audience. And I mean, of course, everybody knows Wanda Watts in and around Baltimore if they've been around Baltimore, right? So, yeah.
Yeah, I do have my hands in quite a bit lately. Actually, over the past 30 years in Baltimore City. But what I wanted to talk about with you today is about the Baltimore City consent decree. I'm with the monitoring team in Baltimore City, and our job is to work with the community to let the community know exactly what the consent decree is, how it's going to affect them, and how the community can actually be a part of the process. Most people think that their voices won't be heard, but they actually can be heard. Each police district has a neighborhood liaison, and I have the central district here in Baltimore City. And so I visit community associations, I visit churches, I visit the businesses, and anyone who have a conversation with me. And the purpose of the conversations, again, is, like I said, to give education, to let people know how to interact with the process, as well as for them to get insight into their interactions with Baltimore City Police. We're looking for the stories. We're looking for the good, the bad, and the indifferent stories. And we report to the Department of Justice. And they keep track of everything that we report to them. So that's my skill for the moment. And one of the things I can mention is every Friday at 12 noon, I do a Zoom meeting where people can actually see me face to face and ask me questions, and we can have dialogue. Today we had actually Fox 45 dialed in because they were curious about the consent decree process and not knowing our role in this. And so we're going to stay connected so that we can make sure that the news media gets the word out for us. I'm pausing for a moment.
Okay. All right.
one of the things that I do with the Zoom meetings is I go through the history of the consent decree, and I also do a virtual screen sharing where I can show people exactly how to go on the internet, how to look at the draft policies and procedures, and where it is on those that they can give their input, because citizens can give their input on any of these policies and procedures. And I advise everybody to participate if they can.
Right. Okay. Chairman Barnes?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Well, and interesting just to bring that up to the content. I mean, of course, you can, just add on to what the governor's proposals are in terms of police reforming. I know that there's a lot on the table with that. So, but you can answer Wanda Watts as well.
Well, when you talk about, police reform, some should know that the Speaker of the House has put together a work group to look at all things police accountability. And we had our first meeting a couple of days ago. There'll be another meeting on the 6th of July, as well as one coming up in August. And I think your listening audience should definitely tune in and hold your elected officials accountable to ensure that we're moving in the right direction when we start talking about police accountability, the Maryland Law Enforcement Bill of Rights, the no-knock warrant, chokeholds. There are so many different things that we need to look at here in the state of Maryland to ensure that our police officers are doing the right thing, but more importantly, that they're doing the right thing within our communities. And the only way that one could ensure that we're moving in the right direction is that they must get involved in the process. And that's where I believe someone else asked, how can citizens get involved? And it's through those types of processes in which one can get involved in a way to make sure that we're doing the things that benefits their community.
Right. With our with the Baltimore City consent decree, like I said, they can actually go to the website, review all of the draft policies and procedures, and they stay up for about 30 days for people to give their input. Then the Department of Justice takes it down and works with the police department. Then they put them back up for another 30 days to give the final input. And they're touting our process. We are like a pilot program for the nation. And we've been touted around the country because the Baltimore City Consent Decree is the newest and latest decree, and it has some of the most innovative policies and procedures. And I would hope that everybody would engage with us, even on the state level, because there are a lot of things that we can do together.
Absolutely. No, thanks for that. Okay. So, yeah, well, we definitely appreciate those inputs with the consent decree. I watched, I believe it was a judge. Is there a judge that's working on that as well? Black female judge, Wanda?
Not that I know of.
Okay, I don't know if she's a former judge. I saw her. No, I'm sorry. She's a former police chief, a black female police chief. I don't know if she's.
That was out of California.
Okay.
Yeah, she's out of California. She's worked with us on some other projects, but yeah, she's from out of California.
Right.
But I'd like to be able to give my phone number to the listening audience if they'd like to call me to get additional information. It's 443-540-7193. Again, 443-540-7193. And I also have a Facebook page, which is under Baltimore City. I'm giving because they make me change it because of some legalities. but it's the Baltimore City Central District Consent Decree Monitoring Team. And that's on Facebook. Again, that is Baltimore City Central District Consent Decree Monitoring Team. And each one of our neighborhood liaisons has their own Facebook page. And we also are on our website. And our website is bpdmonitor.com. Again, B as in boys, P as in police, D as in department, monitor.com.
Okay. Beautiful, beautiful. And just to let everybody know, Wanda also is one of our members of the Black Caucus Foundation as well. So we work very closely with the Black Caucus on many of these issues. And so we're really going to step things up over the next few weeks, next few months with our programming and operations. So yeah, you kept the glue together, Wanda.
Thank you.
All right. So if you want to stick around, I don't know if we have other callers but I'll just mention that Brother Chairman Barnes. Okay, thank you. I think we have another caller, but the Black Caucus has had a series of Zoom meetings. I believe several. I know maybe you had Aisha Brayboy as well as Marilyn Mosby a couple weeks ago. Correct, brother?
Yeah, we've had several statewide town hall meetings centered around issues that affect the Black community. The first one was Being Black in America, which was hosted by myself and Delegate Jay Walker. The second one was the health disparities, which were affected by COVID-19, which was hosted by Delegate Janelle Wilkins and Delegate Stephanie Smith. And we have one coming up on Tuesday that I ask your listening audience to tune into, and that is the Black Business Roundtable conversation on all Black businesses here in the state of Maryland, which I think it will be a great conversation piece. So I ask your listening audience to make sure that they tune in.
Right. Yeah, definitely. You can go to the Maryland Legislative Black Caucus Facebook page or the website as well. I'll let you give out the website for that. I think that those are both informational, good sources of information to keep up, or if any other contact information, because some people, they only listen to radio. Let's, be honest. And so if you want to give out some of the contact information, I believe we may have another caller as well. Not sure how much time you have as well, but I appreciate, just this time, of course. But if we wanted to take one more call and see how you feeling, and, we can keep it going. But if you could give out the various social media as well as contact information that the audience can definitely participate in, as well as email, phone numbers as well.
Yeah, I think if anybody wants to follow the Maryland Legislative Black Caucus, they can go to our website, which is mdblackcaucus.com, and all information on there, along with a list of all of our members of the Black Caucus. You can definitely go to the Black Caucus Facebook page. We have a Twitter account. So I think there's a multitude of ways in which one could get information on the Black Caucus.
Right. Definitely. So, I appreciate that. And I appreciate, actually, Brother Chairman, it was Wanda Watt's birthday, so we appreciate her calling in on her birthday to, kind of stay active, stay engaged. So I just want to give her a happy birthday shout out with that. So and thank you as well. But let me take this one call. I believe Brother Darius may be on. He wanted to ask a question as well, if that's him. Let's take a caller. You up? Next caller?
Hey, good afternoon.
Okay, this is Carlos.
Yeah, this is Brother Carlos. Yeah, I have two quick questions. One for the chairman, and one for the monitor on the consent decree. Now, as far as the HBCU award or what have you, or the settlement is concerned, I understand that that $580 million was supposed to be paid out over 10 years, if I'm not mistaken. Now, the grapevine is saying that Hogan and the Republicans put the Maryland delegation or the General Assembly into a trick bag because the Republicans knew very well that Hogan would veto that bill. And so my question would be, Hogan was once looked at as the great white hope, but most people in our community don't see him that way. We see him as practicing his own conservative Republican agenda and then trying to bamboozle us so that he can run for Senate at the end of his term. Now, how do you see that particular fact or observation? And that's number one. And number two, on the consent decree, I'm hearing from the police officers that they don't have to obey any damn consent decree, that they will do policing on the streets any damn way that they please because they are protected by the Law Enforcement Bill of Rights. And that seems to have be proven out by what we see going on nationwide. So how do you confront that attitude and bring those predators, those super predator police officers, bring them to heel so that they don't break the law and get away with murdering people in our community? And I'll take the answer off air. I hope that you understood what I'm asking. Thank you.
Okay, we got to take a station ID. Brother Chairman, are you okay to stick around and answer that question for us? Okay, we're going to go to a quick break. We'll see. We'll come right back on the other side.
WOLB Baltimore and WERQ FM HD3 Baltimore.
Okay, all right. So we are back. I'm not sure how much time Brother Chairman Barnes have. I want to be considerate of my brother's time, but I appreciate him coming to join the Baltimore listening audience, on a last minute, type of thing. So, I just want to show him his respect and appreciation for that. So, Brother Barnes, did you hear that Brother Carlos's question?
Yeah, let me just say that
okay.
When the bill was passed, the bill passed with, I believe, unanimous votes in the Senate, and we had an overwhelming number of votes in the House. So the Republicans were on board as far as finally helping us settle this HBCU lawsuit. I believe that the governor vetoed, or his excuse for vetoing this bill stemmed from the economic downfall of this pandemic. And with this pandemic, we know that the state is spiraling around and spending money to deal with this COVID-19, which makes it problematic for us to override this veto. But I do believe that it is the intent and the will of the Democratic Party and the Maryland Legislative Black Caucus to come back as soon as possible so we can have those conversations to make sure that we're moving in a methodical way and figuring out how do we override the veto to finally settle this HBCU lawsuit. As far as if the governor wants to run for Senate or whatever, that I am not sure. But I do know as of today, we have a job to do and that is to take care of our HBCUs here in the state of Maryland. And on the police accountability, I have made it my priority to repeal the Law Enforcement Bill of Rights. I believe that too many bad actors are protected under that Bill of Rights, and I will do all that I can to be vocal and advocate for the repeal of that Law Enforcement Bill of Rights.
All right, yeah, no, that's really valuable. I'm currently reading a book on the militarization of the police, and that's a part of it in terms of understanding the thought processes that go into training and how people are not necessarily, they don't see themselves as part of a community, but, of a occupying force. So that's, certainly a plausible, so I'll say, of what you're saying in terms of, looking at that, it's kind of give police just unlimited power to feel and do as they think that they can get away with. So, yeah, I appreciate that. So, but I'm not sure if we have any more callers. I'm not sure any other particular issues. Okay, if Brother Darius is up, let's get Brother Darius. Can you, sister, do you know if Brother Darius is on first? Okay, the regular callers. Okay. Brother Chairman, are you okay to get some more callers? I know you're a busy person, but we can play it by ear.
Yeah, I have time.
Okay. You got, like he said, he got time today, like to say, right? So,
right.
Let's go to the next caller. Come on up. Next caller, you up? Is that Leo? I can't hear the caller, sister.
Oh. Hey.
Okay.
How y'all doing today, man? How you doing today?
All right.
All right, look, I heard y'all guys on there saying that y'all was actually fighting for the HBCUs and, to get the bill passed and have it right for the people. Just get the bill passed and get it moving. But the only problem I got, man, is if that bill was passed, guess what? Hello?
We listen. We hear you.
If that bill was passed, the only problem I have is you won't have any kids to fill it because they all out in the street killing one another. How you gonna put somebody in there? 9 times out of 10, that's probably why they don't want to pass the bill, because they know all the kids gonna be dead pretty soon if they keep going the same way they're going there. I mean, I ain't saying y'all wrong, but I'm saying black people all on this and they all on that, and this out here and all the way over there. They should be right here on our crime problem. You see what I'm saying? We got kids dying seriously, hard, fast, and bad. I mean, like the boys told me yesterday, it was a young kid. He said you can get a cheesesteak the same way you can get another kid killed. You see what I'm saying? He says it's no different. Now, come on, man. I mean, listen, I understand y'all are business. I'm business. But the only thing what I see wrong is that, man, look, we got kids dropping day by day every night. Every night. Our focus should be on that. See what I'm saying? Clean it. Listen, those young kids had to do business with us one day and work with us, and we had to come as one. If we don't have those kids, who's going to carry on this generation? I'm going to ask everybody in Baltimore City, who's going to carry on this generation? You see what I'm saying? Them kids, listen, man, if them kids not here, we're going to be in some big trouble. Or quite nasty, we're going to be all right, but the kids ain't. You know what I'm saying? Because they ain't going to have nothing, don't know nothing, don't want nothing. It's going to be messed all up. I'm telling you, listen, man, it's so important that we save these kids. Now, people keep hearing me. Some people need to join me, man, and help. Everybody need to come out. We need to save our kids. So get any and everything else out there on that plate. Don't let the people keep confusing us about this and that. And we got kids down and we trying to make rules. We got kids down, man. I need everybody. I mean, I don't want people to say, it's different. I want everybody to get on the subject that our kids are dying. And they're dying from our own black people's hands. This is a matter that needs to be straightened out.
So,
It needs
frame it
it,
into a
man.
question, brother.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you. Okay, I didn't know if you had a question, but yeah, we get your point. We feel your passion. So, thank you for calling,
All right,
Stan.
let me say one more thing.
Yeah.
Let me say one more thing.
Sure.
And guess what? Everybody gonna feel the passion when they see what I've been saying. When all of these black kids are done, because you can see the rapid rate that they're dying. When all of them done, then you're gonna feel a big part of passion. You see what I'm saying? This is no joke, man.
Yes, sir. Well, there's a lot of challenges. So thank you, brother, for your call. Let's get Brother Bronze to answer, and I'm going to ask a question for the brother chairman, and then we can go to another caller as well. But if you want to expand on that, Brother Barnes.
No, I think, in a lot of cases, he's absolutely correct.
Right.
And I think, that's why, the Black Caucus is doing all we can to build collaborative relationships and ensuring that this bill get passed. Because I think education is the stepping stone to everyone's future. And I think, with the proper education, it cuts down on the crime reduction. It cuts down on the behavior of a lot of these young people wanting to do disruptive things. I think, we have to look at different programs and different things to incentivize our young people and provide jobs and other opportunities for them. So I think it's a broader conversation that we definitely need to have. And I'll definitely make sure that I take that back to my body to figure out different things that we may be able to do from the state level.
Absolutely. And yeah, so we thank the caller. And before we go to other call, I just, we have a little bit of flexibility on this platform, and I know you're doing something, you're a business person yourself, and you've been advocating for, minority MBE businesses, and as well as your role, you wear multiple hats, with BCI, correct? BCI, Business Connector, BNI. I'm sorry.
Yeah, the Bi-County Business Roundtable.
Right, yeah, okay, right. So that's one thing that I think that, that in terms of educating people about, business as well is very critical. Can you just, just a real quick plug for that, if you don't mind, let people know just a little bit of what that actually is.
Well, let me just say, in a broader context, I truly believe that Black people, people of color, have to learn how to respect one another. We have to learn how to work with one another. We have to learn how to love on one another. We have to learn how to encourage one another. We set the standards higher for our own than we do our white counterparts. And I think it comes a time where, people are starting to get frustrated. And I think, the biggest thing that we can do is figure out how do we support each other and lift each other up in order to make a difference. We have to stop being so judgmental of one another. These kids are just, screaming out that they don't want to kill one another. They're looking for opportunities. So we have to provide the hope and opportunities for them to stop doing the disruptive things. We have to learn how to embrace them and speak to them in their language and saying that, hey, I understand where you're coming from. I understand the pain that you're going through. Most of these young people are living in a single parent household where they're already dealing with social and economic despair, right? Mom is working 2 or 3 jobs. Father may be away from the home. So we have to figure out, how do we support those efforts? How do our small businesses and our nonprofits come out and support those efforts? So to me, I think the caller is right on point. And we have to start looking at those things holistically and figuring out, how do we get to the root cause of some of these things instead of running away from it.
Absolutely. So thank you for that. So let's see if we have Darius. I want to make sure we get Darius up if he's up. If not, we'll go to a next caller.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
This is Sekou.
Hey, brother, stay cool. Peace, brother.
Peace to you too. Hey, look, well, y'all talking about the consent decree?
Uh-huh.
Well, I have a question. Why is it that folks aren't focusing on this tradition? I don't know if it's a law. I suspect it's just a policy nationwide in the police departments where they can kneel on people, and they still kneeling on people. I hear folks talking about trying to ban the use of the chokehold. Yeah, but see, the chokehold didn't kill Freddie Gray, and it didn't kill George Floyd. They knelt on them brothers and killed them. They put the knee on them, and they still doing that. And I don't hear anybody challenging that. I've yet to hear anybody challenge that. That's what killed Freddie Gray. And that's what killed George Floyd. They knelt on those brothers. And if you go on social media and check out the confrontation between the police and civilians, when they arrest one, they throw him on the ground, handcuff his hand behind his back, and kneel on his head, his neck, or wherever. That's what's killing and crippling a lot of people. And I don't hear the consent decree folks talking about that. I don't hear the legislator talk about that. I don't hear the city council or mayor. Nobody talking about that. What's the problem? Because it's so obvious. It's as obvious as the fact that we should not be asking people to come to Washington, D.C. for no 57th anniversary celebration. But the Bible's running rampant and it's escalating in some states. That makes no sense at all. A lot of things are just common sense. I'm really disappointed, but I'm not surprised Al Sharpton loves attention. He's going to call thousands and thousands of our people together in D.C. with this virus running rampant. Now, how are they going to practice social distancing in D.C., thousands of them together?
Well, let me just say that here in the state of Maryland and the Maryland General Assembly, we are having discussions on our use of force. And Delegate Gabe Acevedo out of Montgomery County is leading that charge and ensuring that chokeholds, a knee on your neck, anything like that is banned from that use of force here in the state of Maryland. So I did not mention that with the knee on your neck, but that is a conversation that we are having. We are looking at policy to reflect that so we can ensure that that is something that is removed from the powers of our police officers here in the state of Maryland.
Well, you're the first one I ever heard talk about them putting knees on folks. I keep hearing people talking about the chokehold. That's a part of it. But my major concern is, based on all the videos that I've seen of folks being arrested by the police, is they kneel on them, and a lot of them will gather around so can't nobody see that the victim is being knelt on. They be hiding it. They be hiding, blocking the camera so the camera can't get it. And that's how they're killing and hurting a lot of people. So
you heard it today from me, Delegate Darryl Barnes at 517, that is part of the conversation that we are having in the Maryland General Assembly to remove that from the arsenal, if you will, of our police officers. Is being led by Delegate Gabe Acevedo out of Montgomery County, and it is called the special or use of force that we're trying to get banned here in the state of Maryland.
All right, well, I'm going to be listening to it, but when school opens back up, if you old folks can't get it done, the students will get it done. Y'all have a nice day.
Hey, thank you. Say cool. Let's be in touch with that, and definitely, like we said, Wanda Watts. I don't know, what in the context of the Baltimore City Police Department. I know she has the pulse of that specifically, but of course, in the state of Maryland, the Baltimore City Police Department, really are under the state of Maryland as well. So, you can't separate the two, if I'm speaking correctly. So let's go to another caller, see if we have Darius up. We got about 12 more minutes, so one or two more callers, and we can begin to wrap up here.
All right, Hotel.
What's that? Peace, brother. Peace, brother. Next caller.
Yes. Hello. First of all, hello to everybody. Happy birthday, Miss Watts, and also happy birthday to Mayor Jack Young.
Oh, that's right. It is Mayor Jack Young's birthday.
I want to ask these two quick questions on the HBCU. Now, number one, did President Trump ever put any money up for funding for the HBCUs? And also, I'm going to pose the same question. Did President Obama put any funding into the HBCUs? Thank you. Those are my questions, and I'm going to take the answer off air. President Trump, President Obama. Thank you very much.
Hey, thank you, Ms. Shari.
Well, the answer to those two questions is yes and yes. And it's unfortunately the money that that Trump put in for our HBCUs, it's just never enough. Our traditionally white institutions are always getting the bulk of that money. That's why our HBCUs are lagging far behind. So, it's incumbent that we do all that we can here in the state of Maryland. And I need everyone to advocate and let the governor know how important it is to finally settle this HBCU lawsuit and approve the bill to put in this additional $580 million. It goes a long way when you start talking about the different programs that our HBCUs can have, the locker rooms and the recruitment aspect. So our HBCUs are in desperate need of those dollars, just like every other HBCU is around the country. So the more that we can do here in the state of Maryland, the better.
Absolutely. All right. Yeah, no, I certainly appreciate that answer, because I wasn't totally, that was my understanding. There was yes and yes as well. So thank you for your clarification on that. So I don't know if we have any more callers, but I wanted to speak. Okay, let's bring them on. Come on in, caller. Next one, you're up.
Hey, how y'all doing? I believe that Trump added, I think, $178 million around that, but it was nowhere near what Barack Obama put in there. He added to what Barack Obama put in there, but it was nothing but crumbs, just to appease black people. And we're being bamboozled by this consent decree. We need federal legislation because the chokehold has already been banned. And you see there's nothing happening with that. If you don't have swift punishment, I don't care how many laws you have in there, nothing's going to change. You saw how the police pushed reporters around and knocked that old white man down. They was on national TV and showing their butt. So if they do that on national TV, knowing they being watched, what do you think they do when no one's watching? They're taking the same police, the one that killed that guy was the Earth gun with the loose one. He's still working. I can name a lot of them. They're still working. They're recycling GS. You can't recycle doo-doo. That's another problem. You know what I mean? And it's not just the white ones. It's some of the black ones are better than the white ones. It was 4 black ones that pulled those 2 college students from Morehouse and Spelman, I believe, that brutalized those 2 young kids. 4 of them and 2 white ones, and they had the audacity to say that they pointed guns at them. I mean, ridiculous. These cops are not only getting rehired, 41% of them get rehired, by the way, they are getting promoted. The problem is we got a lot of captains and commissioners and stuff that are just as foul as they want to be, who work their way up the ranks, and they know these guys. They're going to protect them because they all got dirt on each other. When you hire a police and he has, like the guy that killed the guy with the chokehold, 18 offenses, he should have been gone off the force. This is nothing but institutional racism. They're trying to hold on to a white privilege in this America. But this is not an American problem. This is a world problem. People of color all around the world are waking up, and they're tired of doing all the hard work are getting paid slave and Chinese wages. So I love this movement, and I'm proud of my young people, and a lot of young people are doing fantastic things. Just say some black people. I get so tired of hearing people saying black people aren't doing it, black people aren't doing that. I got nephews at Penn State. He's 20 years old. I got a nephew at your college, 17 years old. Already finished a year of college. You know, my mama went to Morgan when it was a college. She lives right behind me. You go past Morgan, it's an architectural jewel. You take people out there from Baltimore, they are like shocked and surprised because some of them don't go no more than 4-block radius in their community. They ain't been nowhere. They don't know nothing. There's a big world out there. That's why we get bamboozled, because we make these ridiculous bills with this a minority contract crap. Ask for something for black folks. Are you scared? It's a shame that this Mario thing that we just went through.
Thank you, brother.
I'm going to make it quick. The white woman was the only one that said something about institutional racism. What's going on? None of the black folks said nothing, like they're scared. We got to get rid of these Uncle Toms, and we got to get rid of these weak politicians sitting down there for 15, 20 years doing nothing. It's not all their fault. A lot of it's our fault. And we got a lot of things to do. So if somebody's doing anything for black people, people should stop complaining because we got a lot on our plate. We can chew gum and walk at the same time. You know what I mean?
All right, brother. All right. Well, we appreciate your call, brother. Thank you we appreciate your passion and, you know, and standing up. And I believe we have one more caller. Let's see who we have, and we'll let our brother Chairman Barnes have the final word. All right, next caller.
Hello, I have a quick comment and a question.
Yes, sir.
Hello?
What's your name? What's your name?
My name is Charles.
Hey, brother Charles. How you doing, Charles?
Okay, I'll make it real quick. My comment is black people getting shorted out of college money and being kneed and killed illegally by the police has been going on for years. And all we keep hearing from politicians is we're talking about it. So my question is, why is it that they're always talking about our issues for years and years, getting nothing done, but when it's a Hispanic issue, a gay issue, or a Jewish issue, it gets done right away? I'll listen for the comment.
Let me just say that, I think it's a different time and a different era. Everything always starts with conversation, but I think we're now poised to turn action into implementation. So when you start talking about all these things we were just discussing in regards to police accountability, I think you'll start to see some of the implementation of those things based off of the conversations that you must have first. I think we will be passing meaningful legislation that I think you will be able to see that affects your community. And we're leading those things through conversation, like the chokehold and the knee on your neck. Those things will be in policy now that we did not have years ago. I think when you start talking about our HBCUs, we passed the bill. The governor vetoed the bill. So we weren't talking about it. We did something about it. So now, as legislators, we have to go back and override that veto in order to turn it into law. When you start talking about reform, it was the Black Caucus led by your senator in Baltimore that gave voting rights to returning citizens. So it wasn't we talked about it. We had to talk about it to give action to it. It was the Black Caucus led by Senator Corey McCray and Delegate Fernell out of Prince George's County that finally passed a bill that said we want to increase minimum wage to $15 an hour. So we had to talk about it to get to the action and the implementation of it. So I think that we're in a time now where we are finally starting to implement the rhetoric in which we have been talking about for so many years.
Yes. And one key things that I would like to see, when we talk about the consent decree, I got this information from listening to a former chair of the Baltimore City Civilian Review Board, and Keisha Allen, and I've gotten a lot of practical, insightful understanding of the dynamics of policing, as well as, the actual what we're talking about, the accountability piece. And I'll just say that in the context that, these civilian review boards, because let's just be honest, there's not going to be a society without any form of law enforcement. Let's, be reasonable, but accountability, has to be enforceable. And this is where, having a strong civilian review board that has some teeth, I believe, need to happen, So what you think, Brother Barnes? And you can kind of wrap up, and we got a little 2-3 minutes, and you can, kind of close it down for us.
And I would agree. I think the police or the community review board, it has no teeth right now. No review board has subpoena powers. So I think there's a lot of things that we need to look at holistically. And once again, I understand the frustration from your caller saying that, we need to start implementing some of these things instead of talking about it. But I do believe that there is a movement going on right now that I've never seen in my lifetime that shows that we are now going from the action to implementation to the execution phase. We're moving things methodically in which we are finally making those changes that will see dividends within our community. And, and I know folks are saying, well, how much longer do we have to wait? How much more patient do we have to be? But I do believe that we are moving in the right direction for all Marylanders. And I do believe that we are making effective change for all Marylanders. We finally have the first Black speaker, first African-American woman speaker in the history of the Maryland General Assembly. So we are making progress. As we all know, change does not come overnight. It comes through hard work. So we are working very hard to make those things happen. I ask your callers not to give up hope, but to continue to uplift and push us and encourage us and pray for us because we are truly working to make change within the Black community. As the chair of the Maryland Legislative Black Caucus, I vow to make those things happen, but I cannot do it when there's dissension and there's conflict amongst the ranks. That, we have to work together and we have to encourage one another in order for those things to happen.
All right. Beautiful, beautiful. All right. That's a beautiful message for us to close out with. It's been an honor and a pleasure for you to come and, take what the Baltimore audience, have to dish out, brother. So I thank you for your time, and you keep pushing forward, and encourage everybody to join in this coming Tuesday for that Zoom meeting, and go to the Maryland Legislative Black Caucus website to stay connected and be engaged. So I'll always be there, connecting and find out what's going on. So thank you very much, brother. Get out and enjoy your weather, and happy belated Father's Day to you. And keep pushing, all right?
I appreciate it, and make sure you let Wanda Watson know said happy birthday to her and your Mayor Jack Young. Thank you so much.
Yes, Mayor Jack Young as well. Happy birthday. So, all right, we out, y'all. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Speak Your Mind Friday. Joyous Jones, she is busy. Actually, her granddaughter is graduating today, so she was running around. Of course, she called in a little earlier, but she was on calling in from her car, so there was a little, background noise, so she stepped away to allow for us to be able to hear from Chairman Darryl Barnes out of Prince George's County, the chair of the Maryland Legislative Black Caucus as well. So just to let everybody know, I'm working with the Black Caucus Foundation as well. I'm the secretary there, so I thank our engineer, thank everybody else, and till next week, come on Friday here, Haki Ammi, the Success Scholar, with Joyous Jones. We out till next week.